present today are Mayor Pro Tem Juventino J. Gomez, of course our Mayor Andre Quintero, Councilwoman Victoria Vicky Martinez, Councilmember Jerry Velasco, Councilwoman-elect Maria Morales, Councilwoman-elect Jessica Ancona, City Clerk-elect Kathy Aradia, City Treasurer-elect Viviana Longoria, representing the Honorable, oh no, actually we have Grace Napolitano here. Yes. Representing the Senate. Rosemead Councilwoman Sandra Armenta. Representing the Honorable Hilda Solis, Supervisor for the 1st District, Edith Gonzalez. For El Monte Union High School District Board of Education, Board President David Diaz. Vice President Florencio Flo Briones. Board Member Maria Morgan. Board Member Carlos Salcido. Superintendent Dr. Eddie Zuniga. El Monte City School District Board of Education President Jennifer Cobian. Clerk Elizabeth Rios. Board Member-elect Lisette Mendez. Board Member-elect Julia Ruedas. Superintendent Dr. Maribel Garcia. For the Mountain View School District Board of Education, we have Board Member Adam Carranza. Board Member-elect Cindy Wood. Rio Hondo College Board of Trustees, Member Area Number 1, Norma Edith Garcia. And of course, for the City of El Monte, we would like to also acknowledge our Chief of Police, Mr. David Reynoso. We also have our Economic Development Director, Ms. Betty Donovan. I'd also like to acknowledge Luis Correa, Member of Congress for the 46th District. We have other folks as well that I did not mention in the order, but they're here and deserve recognition for being here. City of South El Monte Mayor Gloria Olmos, Councilmember Manuel Acosta, Councilmember Gracie Retamosa, Rachel Barbosa, Deputy City Manager. We also have former council member for the City of Los Angeles, Richard Alatorre, in the audience. Before we begin the oath of office ceremony, I want to invite Father Robert Jaramillo, pastor of Nativity Church, for the invocation, followed by El Monte Chief of Police David Reynoso for the Pledge of Allegiance. Before Pastor comes up here, please start making your way up here. We also have Senator Rubio in the audience as well.
First of all, on behalf of Nativity Church and School, I would like to congratulate all our elected officials and also thank you for your service to our communities. As we swear in today our elected officials, we now invoke God's blessing, guidance, and strength to those who serve our government and communities. Symbolic of the many different ethnic communities and cultures comprising our city and communities, I will say the prayer in English, some Spanish, and some Tagalog. We now put ourselves in God's presence. All-powerful and ever-living God, when the Israelites asked for an earthly leader to protect them, you gave them Saul, David, Solomon, and the kings of Israel. In the fullness of time, you sent your only begotten Son, born to us on Christmas Day, sent into the world to bring glad tidings to the poor, liberty to captives, sight to the blind, freedom to the oppressed, and proclaim a year acceptable to you. Blessed are you, Lord God of mercy. Through your Son, Jesus Christ, you gave us a marvelous example of charity and the great commandment to love one another. Send down your Spirit on our elected officials and those who serve our government and communities. May your blessing, guidance, strength, and protection be upon them, that with gentle kindness, wise judgment, just deeds, and patient endurance, they may humbly serve our communities, especially those who are weak, the needy, and less fortunate. May their service bring about a lasting and just peace in our lands. Dios misericordioso, envía tu Espíritu sobre nuestros oficiales electos y aquellos que sirven a nuestro gobierno y comunidades. Que tu bendición, guía, fortaleza y protección desciendan sobre ellos, para que sirvan humildemente con compasión, gentileza, buen juicio, obras justas y perseverancia paciente a nuestras comunidades, especialmente aquellos que son débiles, necesitados y menos afortunados. Que su servicio traiga una paz duradera y justa a nuestras tierras. Maawain na Diyos, ipadala ang iyong Espiritu sa aming mga inihalal na opisyal at sa mga naglilingkod sa aming pamahalaan at komunidad. Naway ang iyong pagpala, patnubay, lakas at proteksyon sumakanila para makapaglingkod ng may kapakumbabaan, habag, kabaitan, matalinong hukom, makatarungang gawa at matiyagang pagtiis sa aming mga komunidad, lalo na sa mga mahihina, nangangailangan at mababang swerte. Naway ang kanilang serbisyo ay magdulot ng isang pangmatagalan at makatarungang kapayapaan sa ating lupain. We ask this to our Lord Jesus Christ, our protector and redeemer, our shield and stronghold, who lives and reigns forever and ever.
Mia. I will now have our Police Chief, David Reynoso, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good afternoon. Please join me in the tribute to our flag. Ready, begin. Thank you. Please be seated.
And I want to recognize also Rosemead Council member Sandra Armenta, who has also joined us this afternoon. And also Jennifer Santana and Brian Urias is joining us as well. We will now begin the ceremony with the Rio Hondo College Board of Trustees. And this is a very special moment that we're launching. And right now I would like to acknowledge Norma Edith Garcia to be sworn in by City of El Monte Councilmember Jerry Velasco.
Which is the best side to say? All right. Any side picture. All right. There we go. You're going to take it slow. Repeat your name after me. I,
Norma Edith Garcia Gonzalez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations.
Muchísimas gracias, Jerry, a friend and a colleague and someone that I admire, so committed to our community, the arts, and with a wonderful history of advocating for our communities. Muchísimas gracias a toda la comunidad del Monte por su apoyo y su confianza. Thank you to the El Monte voters and to the residents in our community for entrusting me to serve you for another term on the Rio Hondo College Board of Trustees. I do not take this responsibility lightly. I know that to ensure that communities like El Monte and South El Monte have community and economic prosperity, we must make sure that every one of our students and our youth have a path to college, a path to ensure that they get the job skills and that they have the training and get the best quality of education. And so let me share with you that passion in which the first day that I was elected is the same passion that I have today. I want to also mention, we've done so much work at Rio Hondo College, and I want to thank El Monte and the entire community for the support that you've given us. We've built a multi-million-dollar facility across the street, right now offering over 64 classes and making sure that over 1,300 students in this very own community are taking college classes. Our partnerships with our school districts and the city have never been stronger to make sure that we're not thinking about college when they're graduating from high school, but when they're coming in and making sure that pipeline is strong, it's institutionalized, systemized, and that our parents are very engaged in making sure that this is the hope, aspiration, and commitment of our community to making sure that our kids, all our kids, go to college. And lastly, I want to say I'm very honored because we have our partnerships with our unions. Let me share something with all of you. There's no doubt that El Monte is committed to education. And just check our tax rolls. We've said yes to every education bond because in our community, we want our children to receive and be in the best of classes. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we work towards is that Rio Hondo College are not just training our students, but we're training our parents and the future. So if we need electricians and plumbers and construction workers, they're getting their certification from Rio Hondo College and working to build our schools and our community in El Monte and South El Monte. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And last but not least, my inspiration, my passion, and my service is dedicated to my family, my wonderful husband who's had a long history in doing the people's work, and the future of our community, my future, my sons, Luciano, Calixto, and my goddaughter, Vilita. Gracias.
I also wanted to recognize Senator Layla, who arrived here too. Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. So now I'm not locked. So we will now begin the ceremony with the Rio Hondo. I'm sorry, we did that already. Want to do it again? Next, there you go. Next, we have the San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District Board of Directors. We have Jennifer Santana to be sworn in by Senior Deputy Council Member Brian Morales.
Okay, please repeat after me. I, Jennifer Santana, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Director Santana.
Hello, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to the voters so much for electing the first woman ever to the board of the Everson Member Management. I'm very excited to jump on board, and I'm excited to bring my research, my science background to help find innovative solutions to maintain water sustainability and affordability in our basin. So thank you very much.
And before we move on to the Mountain View School District Board, I'd also like to recognize Stephen Sham, Alhambra, past mayor and council member, along with David Leong, Monterey Park, previous mayor. I now welcome members that have been elected to the Mountain View School District Board, starting with Cindy Wu, who will be sworn in by Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, District 32.
Thank you. I would like to have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, say to me,
I, Cindy Wu,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and to the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of invasion,
that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
to the office of the Board of Directors
to the office of the Board of Directors
of the Mountain View School District
for the Mountain View School
to
District
the best of my ability,
to the best of my
so
ability.
help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Hello everyone. I am deeply honored to be sworn in here today as your representative on the Mountain View School Board. Though we live in a time of national division, our community has shown that race, gender, sexual orientation, and the myriad other things that might superficially divide others will not divide us. As the first woman of Asian descent to be elected in the city, I am proud. I am proud that our community is committed to putting aside superficial differences to put our community's well-being first. It is easy to vote among demographic lines. It is often much harder, it should be, to build bridges across and create an inclusive community. That requires trust. I see the trust that this community has placed in me, and assure you that your trust is well placed. When I think about leadership, I am reminded that our community is a community of immigrants and their descendants. The courage it takes to come to a foreign land, often not speaking the language, is exceptional. When my family came here, our elders were our leaders. They inspire us and continue to do so. They forged path and made sacrifices so we could have opportunities they went without. They did these things based on the promise of the American dream. The American dream is a big dream. It is often ambiguous and unwelcoming, and often it goes out of reach. We feel a myth in America of the rugged individuals who pulls herself up by the bootstraps to make something of herself. But this myth is incomplete because it tells us nothing of how she got her boots. What we know in Monte is that we have bootstrapped because of our parents and grandparents, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, neighbors and friends worked together to make sure that we have the bootstraps by which to pull ourselves up. What it means to be a member of the school board is that it is my job to represent you as we work together to provide our kids with their boots in the form of a higher education and of a high quality education as well. We know that providing our children with the best education possible is how we give them the best opportunity to succeed. I am the daughter of immigrants who work tirelessly to ensure that I will have the necessary means to stand on this stage and take my oath today. Having received so much from them in this community, it is my duty to work with you to ensure your daughters and sons, whether they be Latino, Asian, African American, or Caucasian, have the same opportunities. Thank you for trusting me to work on your behalf, and I want to thank my families for always supporting me. Thank you.
Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to have our council member Victoria Martinez come up on behalf of Veronica Cifuentes, also with the Mountain View School District Board.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and happy holidays, everyone. I'm up here very briefly to share with you. Unfortunately, Veronica Cifuentes could not be here with us tonight. I feel like a presenter at the Academy Awards. So on her behalf, I do want to say thank you, because we all know what it means to place our trust in a certain member, to hold the values true for this community when we vote at election time. So on Veronica's behalf, I can tell you she has a heart filled with gratitude for her re-election to the Mountain View School District Board of Trustees. So be sure to see, when you see Veronica in the community, give her a big hug and congratulate her on not only 4 years of a job well done, but 4 years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next up is Adam Carranza to be sworn in by the City of Monte Council Member Jerry Velasco.
Okay, Adam. I rehearsed it already, so I think I'll be better. All right. Repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I,
Adam Carranza,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic, that I will bear the true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter
the duties upon which I am about to enter
as a Mountain View Board of Trustee member.
as a Mountain View Board of Trustee member. Good afternoon. First and foremost, I want to thank the residents of El Monte for trusting me and re-electing me to a third term to serve the children of the Mountain View School District. I also want to thank my family for their continued support to allow me to do the work that I do. I also want to thank my partner, who's here, Mark Castaneda, for the support so I can continue to serve the students of this community. And if there's anything that I want to leave you with, it's simply that it really does take a village to serve the children in our community. It will take all of us up here to make sure that we give them every opportunity to succeed, and so that they can continue to move us all forward, because as we rise, they rise, and when they rise, we benefit. So I look forward to working with all these individuals up here and all of you to serve the children of El Monte. Thank you.
Next up, we have El Monte City School District Board of Directors, starting with Lisette Mendez, to be sworn in by Congressmember Lou Correa, District 46.
Buenas tardes a todos. Buenas tardes. Thank you. Cuz, are you ready to do this? Ready to get busy? Please raise your arm. And repeat after me. I,
Lisette Mendez,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
and
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will and will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming. I want to share that the last time I was on this stage, I ran for Miss Monte. I was 17 years old, I didn't win, but either way that experience shaped me. And my community shaped me, which is why I'm so proud and honored to be able to serve this capacity. I entered the field of education in school psychology because I wanted to help children. And I am just without words that now be able to make such a greater impact on a greater scale. I want to thank my parents, family, friends, my mentors who have supported me and who believed in me every step in the way. And I want to thank every voter who also believed in me, and I thank you for every vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next is Beth Rivas to be sworn in by El Monte City School District Board President Jennifer Cobian.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Elizabeth Rivas,
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for your support and for being here this afternoon. It is my joy and my honor to serve as a school board member in the district where I attended as a student from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade, where my father served as a teacher, where my mother served as a teacher, and now where my children attend. I hope to do well as a school board, with the entire school board, and working with the administration, with the teachers, with the families, with the staff, to do good work for the sake of all the children and all the families in our community. Thank you.
Up next is Julia Ruedas to be sworn in by our El Monte Mayor Pro Tem Juvencio J. Gomez.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Julia Estela Ruedas,
do solemnly swear
that I will support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign
foreign and domestic,
that
that I will bear true faith
true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States,
to the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. First and foremost, I thank our Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, for giving me this opportunity to come this far. My parents, my motivation and inspiration, Ernesto Ruedas and Julia Ruedas Botello. Thank you to my family of voters, to my family who were involved in the process, Team Ruedas, they're here with me, thank you. And most importantly, thank you to the children and the families that have been part of my life for 17 years here in the community. As a lifelong El Monte resident and product of our local schools, now more than ever, it's a responsibility to make this dream of high quality education for our children here in our community. It is a privilege to now be part of a team of leaders to make this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now, I welcome the officials that are being elected for city positions, starting with the city treasurer, followed by the city clerk, council members, and mayor. First up, Viviana Longoria, city treasurer, to be sworn in by El Monte Union High School District Board member Maria Morgan.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon to witness this wonderful ceremony. Please raise your right hand. I, Viviana Longoria, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Well, I'd like to thank the city for entrusting me with this position. I'm really honored and privileged to do this, and looking forward to doing it. I'd like to thank my husband Gus and my kids, Angel, Andrew, and Mateo, for supporting me through this, and just looking forward to serving my community. Thank you all my voters and supporters. I really appreciate it, and good things to come, so thank you so much.
Thank you. Up next, our city clerk, Kathy Heredia, to be sworn in by Monte Union High School District Vice President Florencio Briones. And to all the newly electeds, our clerk and treasurer and 2 new council members, welcome to the city family. I really want to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me.
I, Kathy Lydia,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution
to the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of California,
of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully
and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter.
upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was told that I can only have a couple of minutes, so I won't even take that. First, I'd like to thank my family. I have family from out of state, so thank you for being here. I'd like to thank my Team Monte family, especially Jared Velasco, who was extremely helpful, and I have a new member of my family, the Southwest Carpenters, who are in the house tonight. So thank you to all of you. I'd like to especially thank the voters. This was the largest voting election that we've had in the city of El Monte in a really long time. So your vote counts. You can see how well it counted this time. So I am excited about my clerk position. I'm looking forward to doing some new things in the clerk's office. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, Jessica Ancona, City Council member, to be sworn in by Senator Connie Leyva, District 20.
Good afternoon, El Monte. Thank you for having me. It is my pleasure as the chair of the Legislative Women's Caucus to swear in another amazing woman to office. Please raise your right hand.
I, Jessica Ancona,
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well
and that I will well
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I want to start by thanking Senator Connie Leyva, an inspiration, a champion for women's rights, for education, and for working families. You represent values that I too believe in and will champion here on the City Council. I am truly honored to have been administered the oath of office by such a strong, elected woman such as you, Senator Leyva. Thank you. Thank you to the community of Monte. When you voted for me, you placed your faith and trust in me, and I want to express how honored I am for electing me to represent you as your next councilwoman. It is a responsibility that I will not take lightly, and I will work to serve our residents with transparency and visionary leadership to continue to move Monte forward. Thank you for the opportunity to serve our families and all the residents of our great city. Thank you to my family, my brothers, Jose and Jorge, for always offering their encouragement, love, and support. A mis padres, gracias por todo su apoyo, no solamente en esta campaña, sino por toda mi vida. El amor que me han dado y la confianza que tienen en mí es algo tan lindo y el mejor ejemplo que me pueden dar para ser una buena madre a mis hijos. Gracias. To my son and daughter, Eddie and Julie, you are the biggest blessings God has given me, and I appreciate you for being so understanding and for being responsible when I was hardly at home during this campaign season. Thank you for joining me on the campaign trail, knocking on doors, talking to our neighbors. Thank you for believing in your mom and for sharing me with our community. I love you with every ounce of my soul and fiber of my being. My campaign team, starting with my consultant, Danny Angelon, thank you for believing in me and for your amazing work. And to the rest of the team, Long Beach Councilwoman Janine Pierce, Jaime Gallardo, and all the volunteers who worked tirelessly to help us achieve this accomplishment. Thank you. To all the labor organizations who supported me and endorsed me, thank you. To my friends and elected colleagues, thank you for your unending support, advice, and endorsements, especially to my dear friends Rachel Barbosa and Vicky Martinez, who have been by my side since I first decided to run for office 5 years ago. We've shared laughs, tears, frustrations, and now a celebration. Thank you. I would like to thank the other council candidates for running such a fair and competitive campaign and for opening my eyes to so many perspectives. As a school board member, it has been a wonderful 5-year journey where I began my service to the community as an elected official and learned everything I know about governance and how to address the needs of our students and families. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. My heart has been heavy at the thought of no longer working with my colleagues and the amazing hard-working staff of the El Monte City School District. This is not goodbye, as I am looking forward to continue the work on behalf of all of the children and families of El Monte. As a councilwoman, hello to all of my new colleagues and city staff. I look forward to working together, creating a vision to continue to move El Monte forward. With a heart filled with gratitude, I thank you for entrusting me to be your councilwoman. God bless you and the city of El Monte. Thank you for the opportunity to serve you.
Thank you. Up next, Maria Morales, City Council member, to be sworn in by Maria Elena Chavez, Director of the YWCA Greater LA, and daughter of Dolores Huerta, niece of the late Cesar Chavez.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today to swear in a coming leader and also daughter of the hard worker movement. Please raise your hand, your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name, Maria Morales, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
That will firmly support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
That I will bear faith and allegiance.
That I will bear faith and allegiance.
To the Constitution of the United States.
To the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
And the Constitution of the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will and faithfully
and that I will and faithfully
or discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. And so help me God.
And so help me God.
Congratulations and CSEC winners.
I had to put on my reading glasses. It's not what it used to be. Wow, what an amazing Saturday. I'd like to thank Mrs. Maria Elena Chavez for being here and administering the oath of office. And I want to thank you profoundly and deeply for representing a cause that is larger than ourselves. Thank you. With that said, I want to thank you in the audience, although it's really difficult to see you from up here, and our community at large for the support received during our campaign. Thank you to my husband, George, and son that I know are seated somewhere in this area. Thank you to our family and our friends who came out to meet and to listen to the needs of our Monte community. It was beautiful to see my family come out, my friends from Urbandale, my friends from everywhere in supporting our campaign. It was very touching. It was really important for me and for us to know that you are also invested in our community, even if you don't live here. You're supporting us as well and supporting the children and the families here in Monte. As we move forward, I want you all to know that a deep sense of community and commitment to our families and children is my #1 priority. Beautifying our parks, creating green spaces for our kids to run around, creating partnerships to assure our children have a better tomorrow, just like it's been stated by other elected officials, the jobs for our community, the services for our elders in our community, and of course, economic development, the engine that makes all of those things happen. I will end with a quote from the late labor leader and civil rights activist, and of course, Maria's uncle. Cesar Chavez once stated, "We cannot seek," and I'm very emotional because there's one name I did not mention today. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to go through this without mentioning, my father was a farm worker. He migrated to this country, and he worked very hard, just like our community. Came to this country, just like Cindy said, pulled up his bootstraps, created something out of nothing, pushed his family forward, but he had a community behind him, and that was the community of the United Farm Workers. Had it not been for that community, my family had not, or would have not reached what it has reached today. And Monte is a community of hardworking people. We need others to support us. We need to build community, and it's not for us, it's for our children. It's for their future. It's to make sure that we have the things that they need. So I always remember my father working in the Salinas Valley under conditions that were not always the best. I remember him telling us that he was going to go on a boycott, that we could not buy grapes, that we could not go to Safeway, and frankly, there was a lot of boycotting going on back in the 80s. And he said, we're not doing this just for us, we're doing it for our community. So in the words of my father, I want to continue reading what Cesar Chavez once said. We cannot seek achievement for ourselves and forget about progress and prosperity for our community. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sakes and for our own. So here I am, an elected official, and not for my own growth, but for the growth of this community. I represented Monte, but I also represent a lot of our young kids whose parents have come to this country with great aspirations. And we as elected officials, our job is to make sure that we put them first. Family and children first. Thank you.
I don't need a skirt for this. Next up, of course, is our Mayor, Andre Quintero, to be sworn in by Congresswoman Grace Napolitano.
Hello, everybody, and this will wrap it up. Your right hand there. I will ask the gentleman, Andre Quintero, to repeat after me.
I, Andre Quintero,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California,
That I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I am about to enter
upon which I am about to enter
to the office of Mayor of the City of El Monte
to the office of Mayor of the City of El Monte
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God. So today I get to continue on this very unlikely journey of mine. In 1991, I had a chance to go up to Sacramento to learn about politics and government through the American Legion, through the Boy State program. Never in my wildest dreams would I have imagined that I would have had the chance to get elected governor of Boy State and get to go to Boys Nation in Washington, D.C. I was a 16-year-old little Latino kid, child of two immigrant parents. And I had this incredible opportunity. I won the lottery. And I came back to this community, and I remember the veterans saying, look, if you want to honor our democracy, get involved in some way. And slowly but surely over time, I did that. And I remember while I was at UC Riverside, when the Board of Regents were eliminating affirmative action, SB 1 and SB 2, and Proposition 209 was being passed. It was a very different time in the state of California's history. It inspired me to run for the Rio Hondo College Board, where I had a chance to serve for 8 years. And I'm so honored to see the work that's been done by my colleague, Norma Garcia, making sure that now we offer 2 years of college free for our residents to attend at Rio Hondo College. And I have a feeling that the state is actually moving in that direction too, hopefully throughout the state of California. That's how it was in the past, and that's how it should be. We should be investing in our education, and so Norma, thank you for that. To the school board members that are here, thank you all for your leadership and your partnership. I would say, Julia, I think you said it best, this is a team of leaders. So during this election, I'm sure you heard the term team a few times, but I think that encapsulates what we are now after this swearing in. We're a team of leaders working together to help move the agenda of our city along. But I would be remiss not to thank a leader of the team at Monte, and that would be council member Jerry Velasco. You see, no matter how good our ideas may be or our campaign may be, it really does take resources to be able to communicate that message. And Jerry was very active and involved in making sure that we had the resources to be able to communicate that message. And many of you don't know this either, but Jerry and I, although we didn't meet when I was in 7th grade, we were on the same playbill because he used to be the executive director, the president rather, of Nosotros, a nonprofit organization that helped empower and educate and prepare young Latinos into the arts. And I was in a play in Hollywood, Snow White. I was one of the dwarfs. And Jerry's organization, Nosotros, an organization that was founded by Ricardo Montalban, helped inspire me to get involved in the arts. So he was impacting my life before he even knew it. I want to thank my parents and my brother. My parents, who came here. Yes, let's give them a big round of applause. My parents who came here and met, they came from another country, both from Colombia, and they met at an ESL class. My dad convinced, or my mom convinced, I always get the story wrong. Their partner, they were in a baile folklorico, and they traded partners so that my dad could dance with my mom. And boy, was that a special dance. More than 40 years going. To my parents who have been dedicated themselves to loving and giving so much to my brother and I, thank you both for your love, support, and encouragement throughout these years. To Grace, so I went up to Sacramento for a convention once, and I met Grace, her daughter Yolanda, and her chief of staff at the time, Chuck Fuentes. And I was so amazed at all these politicians, these state politicians. I caught poor Willie Brown, I caught him coming out of the bathroom, and I said, hey, can I take a picture with you? It was such an honor to get to know these individuals, but Grace took a special moment and said, would you like to intern in my office? And I did. At 17 years old, I interned in her office. I registered to vote when I was 18 years old in her office. She inspired me. She taught me about constituent services and how important our residents are and how important they are to take good care of them when they call in. Even if you don't understand exactly what they need, you try to figure it out and help provide the resources that they need. And her leadership throughout the years has been exemplary. She's known me my entire adult life, and I'm so grateful that she could be here to swear me in. Thank you so much, Grace. El Monte is in an incredible moment in time right now. And with the elected officials that you see before you, we have so much that we can do. And so I'm honored to be a very small part of a wonderful group of people. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I want to thank especially our staff. We established this ceremonial swearing-in ceremony 3 years ago because we wanted the community to come together and get to know all the officials that they just elected. So I'd like to say now to all those of you that are here from the community, thank you very much. This is what your work has done, and we've got so much more to do for you. So let's give yourselves a big round of applause. To our city staff, they know how challenging the future is for us. We've got some things that we have to address, that we have to work on, whether it's economic development, our parks, public safety, whatever the case may be. We've got some challenges ahead of us, but I believe so strongly that we have the right team to move forward, to move our city forward. And lastly, and I always say this thank you last. Some people say, oh, no, you should put it up first. But at the end of the day, they're the most important people to me and the most important people who help me and sustain me. Because it's not easy. Every now and then, you're on top of the world, and then every now and then, you hear folks that maybe not so excited with the direction that you want to take them in. And that happens. And at the end of the day, when you put your hat down, I often wear hats. When you put your hat down and your coat away, and the people that are there, they'll look at you and love you and support you, your family. My wife Deborah, who's known me almost as long as Grace, since I was 19 years old. And my daughter Emma, who inspires me every day. And yes, thank you. Before the campaign season began, one thing I asked everyone is please pray for our families. Elections are very difficult. They take their toll. They can be very stressful. And I'm just so grateful to the two of them for being at my side always. And lastly, I just want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Thank you very much for coming out here to witness the swearing in of these wonderful individuals. And I look forward to working with each and every one of you. And I look forward to working with the community. And lastly, I couldn't stop this without saying hi to our reflective friends over here in the crowd. Reflective because they're wearing Southwest Carpenters. And as I thank them, I say this. So one of the things that I think we can all agree on is childhood literacy. And the Carpenters have just finished helping us build, with the El Monte Coalition of Latino Professionals, a bunch of little libraries that are going to go out throughout the community. So thank you very much for helping us out with that. Thank you to all of you. Enjoy. We have some refreshments and some entertainment right now at the community center. And thank you all again for being here.